Good evening, I'm Jose and welcome to the Philippines in World News Today. Over the past 24 hours, the Philippines appeared in at least 5 global news outlets: Reuters, Taiwan News, Al Jazeera, the Associated Press, and the South China Morning Post. Reuters reports that the number of coronavirus infections in the Philippines rose by 4,699 to 265,888, while COVID-related deaths in the country saw its highest daily tally of 259, raising the national total to 4,630. Reuters also reports that the Department of Transportation in the Philippines has come under fire due to its decision to incrementally cut the minimum social distancing guidelines in public transport, down to 30 centimeters from the current 1-meter minimum. This is despite the continuous rise in coronavirus cases and deaths in the Philippines. Critics warn that this will only prolong the country's road to recovery. Further on COVID news, Taiwan News reports that a Filipina migrant worker in her 20s has tested positive for the coronavirus after arriving in Taiwan on September 10 on a work visa. She has since been sent to a hospital isolation ward to undergo treatment. Al Jazeera reports that Pope Francis is being constantly monitored for signs of the coronavirus. This is after the 83-year-old church leader held a private audience with Filipino Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle on August 29. The cardinal has since been diagnosed with the virus on his return to the Philippines on September 10. The Associated Press reports that Philippine Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana remarked in a meeting with General Wei Fenghe that the Philippines would adhere without any possibility of compromise to the 2016 international arbitration ruling that essentially invalidated China's claims in the South China Sea. However, this brave remark by the Filipino defense chief to his Chinese counterpart has been withdrawn and removed from the Philippine statement on the meeting. And for our last article of the day, the South China Morning Post reports that the Philippines gave China-backed Dito Telecommunity the green light to construct cell towers on military bases in the Philippines. This has sparked a debate about the potential national security implications of the military's decision. Despite calls from lawmakers to bar Dito from erecting cell towers in military bases, as well as overt efforts from the US and other nations to limit Chinese access to their national telecommunications networks, these concerns have been brushed aside by supporters of the decision, claiming that the risk of security breaches from the cell towers are low. And that is it for the Philippines in World News Today. Please see the links in the description below to read in full the articles mentioned in the video. Thank you and mabuhay!